course. And I said, who's going to play the piano or the accompaniment? She says, there isn't going to be any accompaniment.
Just you. Did you do it then?
Yeah. So finally I told her I'd do it. I sang for her Somebody Loves You, and on the tail end of it, I added, I'll be loving you all.
Oh.
They were both crying. I said, I didn't come here to sing to make you people cry. No, I'll tell you. And then my brother wanted me to sing at his funeral, his second funeral. And I said, Junior, why don't you get a person that can sing? He says, no, I want you to sing. So I said, well, I guess I sang for Sandy. I said, I guess maybe I can sing for you. But I said, you know, the pipes aren't as good as they were once upon a time. But I managed to get through. Of course, I led the singing down at the Fruitland Cemetery for over 20 years.
Did you really?
Yeah. Finally, I told him it was just too hard to get around. I'd have to give it up.
You miss it? Do you miss it?
Yes, I do, you know, because I like to sing and I like to be with people, you know. So I don't know whether I'll get back to sing with the church choir. They're shrunk down again, so they told me last Sunday there was only 7 in the choir.
Oh.
And we usually have 11 or 12, you know. So I don't know whether I'll get back or not.
Are you still driving?
Oh, yes. It didn't hurt me to drive, Oscar.
Yeah.
It only hurts me to get there. I went in yesterday and got my hair cut and went to the bank. I noticed my tank on my car is full of gasoline, so
You didn't go far.
there won't be any reason not to drive. I've got a driver's license for 1 more year.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Then you got to take a test or something, or what?
I didn't have to this time.
Oh, okay.
They gave me my driver's license. And I didn't have to take a test.
Good.
They just checked my peripheral vision. Was all they tested.
Right. So.
But I don't.
I see you got your new specs on today. I remember last time I was here, you said you had to get them fixed or something, or.
Well, I hadn't got my glasses since I got my 2 cataracts taken out.
Oh, okay.
I had both cataracts taken out this year. And Dr. Otto said to me when I went in with the second one, he said, you get a prize, Dexter. And I said, what's the prize now? He said, well, you were the oldest one that had a cataract removal yesterday.
Yeah, her and I went over and interviewed a lady that was actually older than you.
Yeah?
Yep, Esther Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
She's 99, so
Yeah.
got you beat by a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I call Esther and talk to her once in a while, you know.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Nice lady.
Yes. Yeah. And Irene Schultz.
Yeah, you got that DVD too, didn't you?
Okay. Roseanne brought that one in, so I saw it.
She's the one that recommended to do that. So
Yeah. Did you get out to see
tomorrow we're going. Ben Scholl?
Benny?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. I understand Ben is not
Doing
very good shape.
Yeah, so that's what she heard. Yeah. So we'll see tomorrow how it all goes. Can I get you to talk about those pictures?
Yeah. Which one you want me to talk about?
Well, whatever one you want. Whatever one you want to got a story behind.
Well, you will notice that on this one that's got three pictures in it, we played at the old VFW where the Montague Bank is right now. We played for the Shermont tool company in Montague to begin with. In 1964, 1965, and I don't know whether what the last one was. I think maybe in 1966. But then when Hooker came in, we played for them for a couple of years there. Of course, then it was torn down, and we went to VFW new building, and we played for dances out there many times for them. And I'm kind of sorry that we didn't have more pictures taken on places that we played. We played for two of Charlie Gerber's daughters' weddings, and we played at the Ramshorn Country Club in Fremont. And so we've had a lot of fun, you know. This picture is the closing picture at Jack and Jill when we first started playing out there. At the closing, they always brought that outfit in, and we played from there instead of up on the stage. And of course, on this picture of the girls dancing with the fellas, they had to bring men in from the outside because we were having 250 guests a week, and about half of them were men and half of them were, or two-thirds of them were women. So we had to get fellas from the surrounding area to come in on dance night so that the girls would have somebody to dance with. But I don't know, I think I played out the Jack and Jill for something like 30 years, and we certainly enjoyed it. This top picture is how we changed clothes and got some old clothes on that they had for stage parties. And you'll notice that I'm playing the washboard
Yeah.
with a quarter. And Paul Jensen is playing his horn on this picture, but usually he had a big drum with a long stick on it with a cord down to the middle. So he was playing the drum, and our tenor sax man would play the fiddle. So we enjoyed, I think that's one reason we had so much fun out of Jack and Jill, is because they were having fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We really had a lot of fun with them. This picture, we were playing for Buddy Sika's wedding in 1961, and Johnny Straw was playing trumpet with us for that night. Johnny Straw was a teacher over at Newaygo. He's retired now, and he says he never plays the trumpet anymore. He quit.
You lost one down in your chair there too.
Well, this is with Bill McFerrin and Junior and Lee and I at the old VFW hall where the bank is. And we got one here that we played This one we played in North Muskegon for a wedding. And on it is Bill McFair and myself and Junior and Lee. And I think that is, I can't think of who we played for, but it was in North Muskegon.
Oh, go ahead.
And of course, this is the big one, that the band that I really think, I wish we'd had some good recording equipment for this one. We got good 3-part harmony. If the trumpet player was playing the lead, I picked up the second part, and Norm Clunder over here on the right picked up the third part. So we got real nice harmony. And this is the gang that played together for most years out at Jack and Jill. Norm Clunder was with us from Muskegon, and of course the rest of us were from the White Lake area.
I think you got them all.
I think I got most of it.
What's your any favorite memory you want to share about the band, or?
Well, I missed the band, and after the band quit playing, I tried to get Junior to play. I got a request from North Muskegon. A daughter over there wanted somebody that played the old tunes. And I was still working at the tannery, and they called me, and I said, well, I don't know. I called Junior, and I said, will you play this job? And he said, no, I'm running the restaurant now. He said, I can't do it. So I said, would your wife like to go and play piano? And she said, no, if Junior doesn't go, I won't go. So I called Ike Hill. And I said, Ike Hill, would you like to go drum on a job in North Muskegon? He said, sure. So I said, well, where can we get a piano player? He said, well, I know one halfway between here and Muskegon. I'll give him a call. So he called him up, and he said, sure, I'd like to go. So we went over to North Muskegon, and we played for 3 hours over there. And the hostess came over, and she said, everybody's having so much fun. Will you play one more hour? So I asked Ike, and Ike said, sure, I'll play. So I asked the piano player, and he said, boy, I'd like to play another hour, but I've got a job over in Nuevo that I promised to play, so I got to leave. So I said, I guess we can't do it. And she said, if I get you a piano player, will you play another hour? And I said, sure. So I was still working, so this is a long time ago. And here comes a little old lady up in her 80s, came over to the piano, and she sat down, and she run up the keyboard, and she came back down, and she said, okay, boys, what do you want to play, and what key do you want to play it in? So we played, I think we played an extra hour and a half, and we had so much fun with her. So I love music, and that's why I enjoy our orchestra for years and years and years. We were always together, you know. And we traveled to Ludington, and we traveled to Fremont, and we traveled for the Standard Oil Company in Muskegon for a job, and one in Grand Rapids. So we played, and we played because we had fun. We all had jobs. And I think the only reason we got along so well is that we played the kind of music that they like to dance with.
Mm-hmm.
And what about now? You guys thinking about putting another band together and going out there and doing it again?
No, Oscar, but after Junior quit, Jim Todd approached me. You know Jim Todd from Jim Todd's orchestra, pharmacy in
Oh, okay,
Montague?
Todd's Pharmacy, okay.
Well, Jim Todd approached me and he said, we'd like to have a saxophone with us. And I said, Jim, I don't want to start with you guys. You probably play in a lot of different keys and so forth. So I said, I don't know as I want to play. He said, well, we're going to get together Sunday night. Why don't you bring your horn over and sit in with us and just try. So I went over there at 7 o'clock, and I didn't leave there until 11 o'clock, and I was hooked. So I played quite a few jobs with Jim Todd until he died. He didn't come to our 50th anniversary. He died in the drugstore. So that's when was my last playing.
I think you played at my mom's wedding.
Yeah?
It was June and Lila Bale,
Yeah?
and they lived in Lakewood. Lyle
Right.
Bale was my grandpa.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
I know Rex remembered Lyle too, Grandpa Lyle.
Yeah. She used to work for Pillinger's.
Rex made a few mistakes in his tape. He said I never knew anything about music or playing. I'd taken piano lessons when I was young. That's where I learned to read notes.
Mm-hmm.
And in high school, I played clarinet with a small band. But I had never played saxophone until after I got out of high
I
school.
was wondering if you were going to catch that. I left it in there just to make sure you caught it. So.
Yes, but we started right out when we got out of high school. We played our first jobs at the garage, where Dad had the garage.
Mm-hmm.
We played in the showroom. We charged 10 cents to get in. That's where we bought all of our orchestrations. We used to, when we started out, we played with orchestrations. But our late years, we didn't use any music at all.
No.
No. No.
I was going to ask you that too, as far as the band you got together with the 80-year-old lady coming up later on the piano. You guys ever practice beforehand or anything? Just go right there and do it?
We just go ahead and play with her.
Yeah.
But I said to her, when she said, what key do you want it in? I said, just give me 4 bars. After she gave me 4 bars and I could hear it, I didn't have any trouble at all.
Okay.
Start right in playing with her, you know?
Uh-huh.
But it was fun. It was fun. I played one job at the White Lake Yacht Club with a band from Grand Rapids. A fellow that I used to sell leather to at the tannery he made guitar straps that he sold. He bought leather from us and he refinished the straps and sold them. And he knew that I played saxophone, so he had the job at the White Lake Yacht Club and he didn't have a saxophone. Something happened to his, so he gave me a call, and I said, first, I don't think I should say I'll play with you, because who knows whether we'll get along together or not. He says, you just bring the horn down there, and he said, we'll get along all right. So I did. That was a good job. I made $100 for 3 hours that night.
Oh, wow.
All right, Dexter, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You know, we never made a whole lot of money, Oscar, playing.
Mm-hmm.
My first job playing at the North Muskegon High School was $12 for 4 people. $1 an hour.
Yeah.
But we played because we had fun.
Yeah. Yeah, when I
Wanted things that went on in Montague and Whitehall that he remembered.
Yeah, that's good too. But
See, he didn't move to Montague until he was like in 7th or 8th grade, so he and his sister could go to high school here.
oh,
He
okay.
was he's a farmer from way back.
Horse farmer.
Well,
Oh,
an
yeah.
auctioneer.
Oh, well, we had tractors later.
well, how does it? How? Why don't we just do it that way? Want to talk about it, how it all started, as far as the? Were you an auctioneer first, or?
Oh no, we met. Okay, he was in the.
Okay, I told you. See, I told you I had to put you on camera.
Oh, but he had horses when he was. See, I didn't meet him
15.
until he came out of the Navy, which was like 19. Got married in 47, then 46, but in 1945. But before that, he had a stable on.
Scenic Drive.
Yeah, because this is what he took the. He lived in Montague, but the stable was in Whitehall.
Was across the lake.
Yeah, and so they took the horses on a ferry across the lake rather than ride them all the way around in the
Oh,
spring.
okay.
And then in the fall, they did the same thing. And that's the thing that they took them
Was
on.
a boat.
No,
Yeah,
close
I'll
up
get-
with that?
Well, I'll get pictures of it after when we're done here.
Okay.
So that was when he was 14 or 15 that he had the riding stable in
Wow.
Whitehall on the corner of
Scenic Drive.
Scenic Drive and the one that comes into Whitehall. White Lake Drive. Scenic Drive and White Lake Drive because they come together.
Scenic does with what? Oh yeah, yeah.
No, it's Lakeshore. The White Lake Drive and there's Zeller in White Lake Drive. Or
What?
there's Scenic Drive.
Well, where does Scenic Drive start?
It starts.
Whitehall.
Yeah, it starts at the 4-way stop.
Yeah, well, that's where his.
Okay.
And now it's all, it's houses.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm putting a light here because pens here because it picks you out better.
Okay. But so that was that. And then he went on to high school and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then he went into service in the Navy. And when he came out, I had come up for the summer to work at the it was a Jack and Jill Ranch then.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just gotten out of the Navy, and he had a horse. I don't know what it was. He always says, "Is it me or my horse?" You like. So anyway, that's where we met.
And what happened from there?
Well, we got married the next summer.
Well, you was a waitress, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was a waitress, and you had your horses there. But that was at the ranch, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
then the next, that was summer. I suppose was the next spring we got married,
Yeah.
or did we wait another year? I forgot.
Oh, another year, I think it was.
Anyway, one of the things, so I was home in west of Chicago, and so we would talk, obviously, quite often. And one time he called me, where is that beer thing? It would have been in the fall of '46, I wrote that down. And I thought it was kind of funny because it's the difference between yesteryear and today. But his uncle brought him home a bear from hunting. Don't ask me any details. So he put it in now you can correct me, honey, because it's your story. He put it in there, was it the fruit cellar outside?
No, it was a water tank. Well, it pumped the water from the house into that tank, and then from that tank it went to the barn. It was a water tank.
Yeah, but it had a little room down there.
Oh yeah, it was.
Because
It
your
was a
mother.
building.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's where the bear was, and one day the bear got loose. Now this is right in Whitehall, across from the cemetery,
Okay.
not very far from the school. And it was about time for the kids to get out of school. And You know, so this wasn't funny. I can just hear your mother.
Oh,
And so he called his friend Leonard Hunt, and he called Bill Tiemann. And
Lariat, and two Lariats lasted him, pulled him down,
take your hands away from your mouth so they can hear you.
led him home.
So they got him out of the tree, and they finally got him home. But they were so worried, because if the kids got out of school, they'd be coming through, and that's all you...
Yeah.
Now, see, today that could never happen. You wouldn't have a bear in the first place.
No.
So when I came into the picture then, I don't know, I think his mother went out because they got rid of the bear.
How big of an area was the bear stored in? Just a little.
Oh, just a little thing the size of a bathroom or something.
Oh man.
I mean, he could come, I don't know.
Well, had a collar on,
Oh, okay.
a rope, and he
But
had a pen that he went into, a building or little building with a roof on it.
it wasn't much fun. I don't know what the uncle was thinking of. To tell the
No,
truth. But
it was always a. You had to watch him.
the bear or your dad or your uncle?
Well,
Yeah, probably both, because that was the drinking uncle, wasn't it?
yeah.
Anyway, so that was one funny little story. Then after we got married,
We sold the bear hunter up north.
I see smoke or something out there.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
our furnace.
Oh, that's your furnace.
Yeah,
Okay.
that heats this house and the house right next to us.
Oh, okay. I'm
Our son
sorry.
lives there, yeah.
I interrupted you.
Because we're kind of funny. See, we started out in that. Anyway, we got married, and see, he owned this house in Whitehall across. It's not there anymore. Right across from the cemetery. There's.
Yes, it is. Big old porch around the outside of it.
I think, honey, that's
Huh?
that's where the Sears and stuff is now.
Yeah.
That house is gone.
Oh, is
But the
it?
store is there, because that's where we used to have the White Lake greenhouse or whatever it is.
And it's all shopping stuff down there now.
Pardon?
It's all shopping
Yeah.
stuff down there
yeah.
now.
So he owned 22 acres there, and he always, it's one of his comments, so he should have kept it and blah, blah, blah. You know, that goes on all the time if you had foresight like you had.
It's a man thing.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's where he lived, and then we bought the farm. Let's see,
Across the road.
48 in April. We moved straight across the road. And we lived there 32 years. Then
How
we
long?
bought- 32 years, I think.
Not in that White House.
Well, okay, well, we don't need an argument because I'm probably wrong. But anyway, we moved there. We ended up with like, what do we have? About 400 acres. Something like that.
350.
But anyway, then we bought the red brick farmhouse that you passed as you came in. And we lived there 12 years, I think.
Well, that's 40 acres.
See,
The
we
first
sold
40
this
was-
place with
and-
40
and-
acres.
And this 40 went with it. And we kept this 40.
Yeah, yeah, and now we're down to like 200 acres or 170 or something. But then we built the house next door, because we remodeled those other two. We built that house, and we lived there 12 years.
That's where all.
If you still live there, and then we built this little place. But we had in mind, I guess we had, that we might someday need help. So we have we built it with the wide doorways and the toilets that are raised.
That's
And
nice.
things like that, and a handicap shower. And I'm glad we did. So that kind of, and then during all this time, to back up, when we got married, he decided to go to auction school in Indiana. And that's when he started auctioneering, and that was a great part of our life. That and farming, because we had asparagus pickers for many years.
Now, can you still do any of the auctioning at all? I mean,
Pardon me?
Were you one of those quick auctioneers where you would?
No, we sold farm sales. We had about 4 years.
Don't worry about my camera.
Okay.
We had farm sales and household auctions and antique auctions.
Yeah.
but we're not in a real, see the lake is on the west, and Muskegon's this way. And that way is Oak Grove, so really the only real farming area is from here and up north.
Okay.
So the reason I'm saying that is we had as many or more household auctions and antique auctions as we did farm auctions, because he loved the farm auctions.
Well, that was right when, right after the war, the big got big and the small sold out to the little guys, the big guys. And we just had all kinds of auctions. We had high as 3 auction sales a week.
Of course, it was only in the summer, you know, there's only so many weekends in the summer, so. But that's what we did.
I guess the question was, were you that one of those quick talking auctioneers, or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I sold Ravenna livestock sale for 30 years,
Every Monday night.
every Monday night.
I don't know where do you guys live?
White Lake Drive, across from
Oh,
the credit
you're
union.
local people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're actually true farmers. That's what he loves the most, that and the auctioneering. Of course, it's all morning he was calling square dances.
Oh, really? You did the square dance calling too?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, that
anything
was-
that called for talking and
Okay.
stuff.
Now,
You guys are just too young, see.
Oh, no. Well, thanks, but no. So as far as the auctioneering, when you say you had something there, a John Deere tractor to auction off, how would you go about doing it? How would you start?
I would say, hey, we got this nice John Deere 45 tractor. It's got 465 hours on it. In super shape. It's a 45 horsepower, three bottom plow, 2 in the heavy ground and 3 in the lighter ground. And we had highest 3 sales a week.
He asked how you'd start doing it.
Pardon?
He asked how start auctioning. Who'll give me?
Oh, auctioneer goes. Oh, now we'll sell that John Deere tractor. We started at $800, $8.5, 75, $875 now, 400, $875 now, $875 now, 900,
Yeah, done this
9 and a
so
quarter, 9.5, 9.5, 75, 975, 975, 975 now, $1,000. Hey, even money, $1,000. And that's the way it goes.
Okay, all right, that's what I was looking for.
One that happened to be a tractor, he sold 4 different times.
No, that was a Ford 8M tractor, and I had sold it at a farm sale. The guy that bought it, and I got $2,000 for it. That was in the spring of the year, and he come up to me. He said, "Mr. Scholl," he said, "that's $100. That's $1,000 more than I paid for it. That tractor sold for $1,000, brand new, 20 years ago."
Anyway,
And then I sold it 3 times that year, and every time it brought $500 more.
but our record was a player piano, the old kind. And we sold that 4 times. And the last time we sold it, it was out on the porch of a little house in Shelby or something. And we bought it and couldn't get it in the house. And so they had an auction and they put that on.
We know about moving pianos, don't we, dear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't live without a piano, and we've moved many of them.
Now, who plays the piano? Is that you?
Yeah, not now though.
No.
What?
That's what she says too.
You
I play by
piano?
ear, but I don't know. I haven't been well for. I've had this darn cold, and it just knocked. I've been laying down all morning. My hearing aid is ringing. So what else?
What about, how'd you get involved with the tractor pulls? What got that started?
Tractor pulls?
Did you have
or
tractor?
plow days.
Oh, plow days, is that what it's called?
Yeah, there's no tractor, all horses.
Oh, okay.
We had horse. He's had horses all his life. And when our girls were growing up, I mean, our son wasn't quite the horsey one, but the two girls and Benny were all horses, and shows and stuff. Well, when they got through school and left, then he had what he wanted, which was draft horses, and that's when he started having a plow day that we had it 22 or 23 years. I forgot which. And that was people would. God, I got plow day books all over the place.
Bring their own horses.
They would bring, yeah.
We had highest 55 teams plowing.
And the whole idea of it was to, he wanted the younger generations to see what went on years ago. And that was really the whole purpose of it. We didn't get as many people from Montague because most of them were, but boy, from Grand Rapids, and we had them here from 7 states one time for this plow day weekend. And of course, they made a weekend of it. They could camp here and blah blah blah. And we had a potluck at noon one day, and we had people lined up from here to that house next door.
We had breakfast. Yeah, we served breakfast, pancakes, and bacon, and sausage.
Oh, you're thinking of when you had no riding stable.
Oh.
We did have the night we started like on a Saturday night. We had
Bean
hot
soup.
dogs and bean soup and stuff right out here in the corral, and then Sunday was the big day. But some of them came Wednesday before the thing, and some of them stayed till Monday, and we just.
With their horses and everything they were
Oh
out
yeah,
there?
oh God, yeah, you know, things are really get quite sophisticated. We had one outfit from Adrian, that area, and they had, what, 6 or 8?
8.
8 horse hitch. And you can imagine how big that trailer was.
Now, what was the competition? What did they do?
Plowing.
I mean, was it who could plow the fastest or the
Oh
farthest?
no,
Or
not
We had
fastest.
judges. It
The
was-
best.
the best?
Yeah.
The horses walk slow and just turn a nice furrow.
And then we had awards, and at a certain time we had a competition, what do you call that, when they ran around and stuff and did the different things.
Competition.
Obstacle course. But then at the end, then about 4 o'clock on Sunday, we had the awards, and they'd be like for the best the best plower and the best. And we had people come with their wagons just to give people rides, because from this point right here, way down to that, way down there, you know, it's quite a walk, so they could.
Well, we own a whole mile here
Yeah, and they would.
on both sides
Put
of the
their
road.
kids, you know, then they would, and people, we we encourage people to bring the whole family, because it was the only thing it was one of the few things that you could come to without paying a penny, unless we also had Larry Yeager's food wagon. So of course, if they wanted their caramel corn and stuff, they could, but they could spend the day, you know, and walk from one end of the farm to the other and stuff, and then. The backyard next door, we had the big swings and stuff for the kids.
So you didn't charge anything for it then?
Oh, no,
Wow.
no. Like our kids would say, why don't you put, you know, because we always had coffee. Why don't you put the little thing there, you know, so people could put some money in? And I said, well, then we're defeating the whole, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine insurance, when I think about it now too, if you're not making anything, you know, you're pretty well covered by your insurance. But if you're making money, like when we were auctioned, we had, 3 or 4 times a summer, we would have somebody at the state auction in our yard, like across the road or that, not here, because we were already out of it, but the Red Brick Farmhouse and that, we had nice auctions, but we were making money. That was a different thing. If people got hurt then, So anyway, so the plow days, people appreciated that. We had nice write-ups, and you get the Chronicle?
No.
Well, we used to, you know, they had really nice write-ups about it and everything.
Yeah, you don't think you can find anything that large for free anymore, that's for sure.
Well, no, and it would, of course, once in a while the weather would be bad because it was always the last weekend in April.
Oh, okay.
And when it was beautiful, it was just fun, you know. But one time it was so miserable. It snowed and rained and about everything that you could have happen, and we just closed down and had after the dinner because you couldn't send the horses out to work, and people weren't coming. But most of the time we had pretty good luck.
Well,
And our 50th wedding anniversary, or was it our 60th, 50th? Happened to be on the weekend that we had the plow day, so we had quite a little to do that time.
Now, how many things would you say you've auctioned through the years?
How many things?
Yeah, how many different things did you think you auctioned through the years? Or different events, I should say.
Yeah. Well, one of our first big auctions was in was when Blue Lake before they bought it, and we had an
Fine
Oriental
arts.
rug auction from. Well, it was one of the lawyers in Muskegon contacted us. I don't know where. I forgot just. Well, no, it was the Burlingame auction. Yeah. Anyway, it was full of Oriental rugs. We had people from New York and everything else here.
had checks from 9 different states.
Yeah, yeah, we always sweat that out. But we had pretty good luck. We had good luck because people that loved auctions came all the time, and they just, you know, and if you hurt us in any way, you wouldn't be welcome. So we had quite a honest group. Very few times did we lose anything. Anyway. What did I write down here? Oh, one of the picture frame right there. Oh, probably walking around the house. I didn't even see what we.
Well, I can do that after we get done. If you want.
Yeah, sure. I just started getting my Easter stuff out this morning, and
Because I wouldn't mind going around the area here and take some pictures of around the house too. So.
Who's that?
This is Sherman's Ark, ice fishing. The reason I'm gonna,
Well, that's fine. You can sit right in your seat and I can get it here.
should I sit down? Is that
No,
what
you're
you
good.
said?
You're good.
So this was before I came into the picture.
I worked there.
You worked there. You know where Lakeside Inn is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go down a little road to the Lakeside Inn. Well, right out, that's where this was.
Right out. Right.
And you should tell this, honey.
Well, it was out in Lake Michigan. That was a building.
Honey, it was
up
White
there.
Lake.
Yeah, we wanted that was the thing that was what they were talking about. Remember that?
Yes.
Who was talking about that?
There's pictures of it in the lighthouse.
Oh, the lighthouse. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I imagine.
Yeah.
She Karen McDonald talked about that about the floating house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they could fish out of there, and then they had in the wintertime they had shanties. I had 100 and some shanties out on the ice. I worked for him. I'd take them out to the shanty and build a little fire for them and start their fire and give them some wood and say have fun.
How come that didn't continue? Was it
Pardon
liability?
me?
Why didn't it continue? Was it liability or wasn't it making it or?
Oh, I don't know. I was in high school. I worked for a guy and he wanted to sell out to me, but I didn't want to. I had a riding stable and
I
just
don't know
went.
why it didn't. Maybe we, now it wouldn't go at all. We used to have ice all winter on White Lake. I would
Right.
ice skate all winter long. And you know now how spotty things are. We used to have winter like in November.
Yeah, but wouldn't it,
you guys are old enough.
if the ice melted, it would still float though, right? Or no?
Well,
Oh,
people
the
couldn't
building?
get out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they went out there in boats in the summertime and on.
Oh, did he run it in the summer too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They rode out there. Boats, all tied up along the side. See, that's all.
So So how did he make it float? What did he use to make it float? Was it just a,
Float.
yeah? It's
It
like a
had
boat.
two big barrels under it.
Barrels?
Yeah.
I kind of figured that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a pontoon boat?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. I just thought that was a winter thing.
Pardon?
I just thought that was a winter project.
Oh no, that's out there year round.
Oh.
It was anchored out there.
Yeah, because to me that sounds like a great idea. I don't understand why they don't have something like that now, but
Was he quite old? Was Sherm an older
Oh
man?
yeah, he was probably 55, 60 when I was a young boy.
Of course, that's not old now. When you're 85 and 88. Anyway, and then that was right about where he would take the horse, you know, when he had the riding stable in the summer, would take him on this ferry. God, I didn't think it would be about us. There's a million things, but you just don't think of them. But anyway, horses were our general. We had riding. We had a riding. Right when we got married, we had a riding stable. You know where the White Lake Golf Course is, right across sideways. You know, there's. What the heck, is that Duck Lake Road or Michelinda?
Michelinda.
That Michelinda that comes right to there. Yeah. Well, on that side it's all grown over now and everything, unless there's homes there. That's where we had a riding stable, and the guy that ran the White Lake Golf Course would come over almost every other night. If your horses get on our greens, if they get out. Oh, Lordy. And then that was right after we were married, yeah, because then the next year we moved here, and then we just ran our riding academy from right there. We would pick up the kids at
Chicago Scout Camp.
yeah, scout camps, and then on
so you're like
Fruitvale Road, there's a big girls' camp. We would go pick them up.
so it's kind of part of a Wassapi and everything. You would
Yeah.
work with them.
Yeah, I guess, did we have Wassabi? I think we did have 4 or 5 horses out there.
How many horses did you have altogether?
A lot of times in the fall we'd end up with 35.
Oh, okay.
We didn't winter that many, though.
We didn't winter that many. When we had 200 acres of land here, and we raised all our hay and grain.
So no horses left at Hagen? Any horses
No,
left?
not as of a year ago, because no. Our son lives right in the house next door. He teaches at Steele in Muskegon, which is mostly black. And and he's doing the farming now. In fact, he has, well, that's today, not yesteryear, but he has community gardens right out here. And he has
You what?
Community gardens.
Oh yeah.
He had 60 last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
And raises. He's doing all the farming for us. We rent part of our farm out. In fact, they were just spreading liquid manure, I think, down there when you came.
And what kind of products did you do? A lot of the manure products too and stuff when you had all those horses?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's built of our land.
Raised a lot of hay and grain for the horses.
We had asparagus. We had 100 acres of asparagus.
Huh?
Much asparagus did we have?
80.
80 acres?
No. 50, wasn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was 100. That's how we're not, don't pin us down on anything here, because I don't want people coming over and telling us you're a liar. We're having a hard time. Anyway, so we had those kind of crops that we had asparagus pickers and all this and that, and we had
We raised a lot of peas
for Gerbers.
for Gerbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had, asparagus was the crop that was the biggest, maybe it might have been the best crop, but it was the biggest pain in the neck, because you had all these employees. I had one field, and I had girls, because we had 2 girls. So we had girls on sleds, and then the next field over we had boys picking by hand. And then later on, we had it across the road, then we had women. And then it went to Mexicans, and that's when we finally got out. It got so red tape and bookwork and blah blah blah. You know how that goes. But when we had women, it was kind of interesting. One gal came, her hair up like this. She must have had it done every morning before she came to pick asparagus. And sitting there, you know, now they're sitting behind a tractor picking. And this one lady said to Benny, do I make any more an hour if I have a master's? I never did remember who that was, but we got the biggest kick out of that.
You did picking too. You and the kids did that once, didn't you?
Not asparagus.
No.
A lot of the farmers, you know, most of it's that way. Have asparagus and still have because they still have pickers because they just never figured out a good automatic picker like they do for everything else, tomatoes and.
We had 3 pickers, or 3 we pulled 3 different pickers. You had pickers?
The boys didn't ride though. They
No,
walked.
they walked. But you had riders and I had riders. I had 11 and 2 walking on both ends of both sides of the pickers.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of rough out there sometimes in the heat.
No,
Oh,
no, 'cause
no.
asparagus is done with by June, May and
We're
June.
done picking.
Done picking. The crop is over by the 4th of July. There's no more asparagus.
Yeah.
No, we had more trouble with cold weather, you know, icky, you know, the kids, you know. And as the years went on, kids don't work like they used to. And we had girls with our oldest daughter. They just it's always the ones that are active that do things. So naturally, the cheerleaders and everything, they're the ones that picked asparagus because they were ambitious. So we had to work around their dental appointments and their cheerleading and everything. But that worked out fine. But it was later that we ran into problems with the little boys and stuff. They just.
Finally went to Mexicans. That's what screwed everything up.
Well, then it got but there's there's many people, you know, there's big asparagus fields. Our one friend say they have 500 acres of asparagus, but we were ready to get out of it. What else did I put down? Auctioneering, we did that.
Well, I was just wondering too about the auctioneering. We were talking a little bit about that as far as some of the auctions, but I mean, what some strange things that you auctioned off before, or anything unusual, or?
Yeah, there would have been, if I could just think of, I have big wallpaper scrapbooks of every auction. I got 6 of them there, you know, like this, every auction that he had.
Oh, okay.
And so every once in a while we look through them. They should go to where people are raising heck that we don't give them to the museum, but we're not ready to get rid of them yet.
I should have brought your camera. We could have got a few snapshots of those.
What?
I said we should have brought our camera. She could have got a few snapshots of those. I can snap it with this though too, but I don't want to have you dig all your stuff out right now. So, but maybe sometime we could come over or something, get some snapshots.
Yeah, their books are right in there. But they're, you know, great big.
I could have you turn the pages and I could just snap it with this too.
Okay.
So,
And we had, now like in White, we had some nice auctions in White. Is this everything I say is going on there?
no, not everything. What if there's something you don't want on there, I can cut it out. A few things I've already heard that I'll cut out there. So.
Well, no, but a lot of the town, North Muskegon and Whitehall, Shelby, they just went all out, you know, for auctions. I mean, it brought money in, you know, people would go in and eat and everything. And if it was raining, every raincoat in the vicinity would get sold out. But Montague wasn't as nice as the others. They wanted us to
Well,
get a license, wanted to pay. They wanted us to pay if we had an auction and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't have as many in Montague. We didn't push them.
oh,
Don't go to sleep. We're talking.
Getting too tired?
You know, it's.
I'm
He doesn't
88
do
years
much.
old.
Yeah. Well, I'm 52 and I fall asleep by once in a while.
Well, anyway, they would go out. They caddied, but they also went out and worked and dug dandelions. What did you tell me? How did they pay you?
Well, we got ours popped and
No, you had to dig a half bushel or a bushel.
bushel, half a bushel.
For what? Put that down, honey.
For what? For our dinner.
Okay, you always told me you got a nickel a bushel or you got a bottle of pop.
Well, we got pop for our dinner. Well,
She didn't furnish your dinner, I know that. You took your lunch with you, didn't you?
yeah, but he bought us pop. And
Anyway, it was kind of funny. A bushel of dandelions for a bottle of pop, isn't? You wouldn't get the kids doing that today.
No. Now, was that what do they do with the dandelions? Just to get rid of them, or
And the golf
Graham.
course.
What do they do with the dandelions?
just to get rid of them, right?
We just
Yeah, to
dump
get them
it.
out of the.
Yeah.
We're talking about the golf course.
Right,
You know, imagine on the greens and everywhere.
Well, I thought maybe they had all dandelions still in the back or something. They might have made some dandelion wine.
No. Actually, people eat dandelions. They're supposed to be very good, but
I don't know.
I don't have that kind of patience. That kind of brings it up to date. And when he had the riding stable in the Whitehall, which was he always says, I think he exaggerates, but anyway, there was dances, and this would be some dances, 2 nights weekly at Murray's Inn, 2 nights weekly at Jack and Jill Ranch, and that was true of Sunday and Thursday because I was there later, and then Saturdays at Schiller's Barn.
Okay.
So they could go to dances 5 nights a week.
Now, you go to dances, or were you part of the band, or no?
Oh,
No,
I,
just went.
Okay.
He just
I
went.
love to dance.
Yeah, and
I call square dances now.
Right.
but he had that was the old-fashioned square dance, and we did Western square dance for 10, 15 years. But anyway, that was a boy-girl deal.
Now, can you still call the square dancing?
Oh yeah. I did too. I called some here just
This morning, yeah, but nobody was here. No, he hasn't. He has an auction for. It's been. Oh, it's been almost 20 years, hasn't it, since you auctioned, Benny?
oh yeah.
I'd have to look in the book to see what the. Oh, we had all kinds of auctions. You were asking that. When you leave, I'll think of the funniest things.
Yeah, that's the way it usually works.
We had one in Whitehall that was a 2-day auction. I can't think of the man's name. Oh, that was a good auction. We had his bearskin coats hanging on lines, you know, and we had books till they come out your ears, and plus, it was all household.
We had checks from 9 different states from that sale.
Yeah.
Ruggles.
Charlie Ruggles, yes.
Charlie
Charlie
Ruggles.
Ruggles. Yeah, I have a lot of pictures on that. Yeah. But we had some big ones. We'd have like a whole antique shop out of Pentwater. We sold that one time, and I can't think of funny things that we've sold. Panko, he had all stuffed animals. We sold those.
Did a lot of them do that when they were going out of business too? They'd bring the stuff over to sell it out, or was it just?
Well, when we'd have estate auctions at our farm, well, sometimes they'd be all one person. So, and then a couple of times we had shops like the one that the shop on